Hey everyone, welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is a daily show where we give you all of the latest news from the world of movies, plus a little bit of insight into what it all means. Joining us as always is AMC Movie News Editor-in-Chief, John Campea.
Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the show, coming to you live from right here at the Stream.TV studios here in Hollywood, California. And I've been up since 4:30. It's Oscar announcement day.
And also here, AMC Movie News Senior Editor, Amy Rose Eisenbach.
Yeah, this day has started off with a bang. I tell you, it's going to be a long one, but really exciting to talk about it all.
And also here, AMC's Alicia Malone.
And I got up at 3:45.
You actually went there.
I went to the live Oscar announcement, and it was really fun to see everyone's reactions as it happened.
Well, today was the day. The nominees for the 87th Academy Awards were officially announced this morning. The nominees in some of the major categories are Best Picture, American Sniper, Birdman or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, Boyhood, The Grand Budapest Hotel, The Imitation Game, Selma, The Theory of Everything, Whiplash. Best Actor in a Leading Role, Steve Carell, Foxcatcher, Bradley Cooper, American Sniper, Benedict Cumberbatch, The Imitation Game, Michael Keaton, Birdman, Eddie Redmayne, The Theory of Everything. Best Actress in a Leading Role, Marion Cotillard, 2 Days, One Night, Felicity Jones, The Theory of Everything, Julianne Moore, Still Alice, Rosamund Pike, Gone Girl, Reese Witherspoon, Wild. Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Robert Duvall, The Judge, Ethan Hawke, Boyhood, Edward Norton, Birdman, Mark Ruffalo, Foxcatcher, J.K. Simmons, Whiplash. Best Actress in a Supporting Role, Patricia Arquette, Boyhood, Laura Dern, Wild, Keira Knightley, The Imitation Game, Emma Stone, Birdman, Meryl Streep, Into the Woods. Best Animated Picture, Big Hero 6, The Box Trolls, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Song of the Sea, The Tale of the Princess Kaguya. Best Director, Birdman, Alejandro G. Inarritu, Boyhood, Richard Linklater, Foxcatcher, Bennett Miller, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Wes Anderson, The Imitation Game, Morton Tildum. Best Visual Effects, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Guardians of the Galaxy, Interstellar, X-Men, Days of Future Past. For a full listing of nominees in all 24 categories, you can visit oscars.com/nominees. John, what stood out to you in the nominees announcement?
Yeah, I should point out that there are a whole bunch of other categories and a lot of stuff to go over here, so we're just going to spend a few minutes on the Oscars today, but come back and check on our YouTube channel a little bit later today, later this afternoon, early this evening. We are going to be doing, me and a bunch of the crew, we're going to be doing a whole 1 full hour special just talking about the Oscar nominees, but we're going to give you some of our initial reactions right now. I very rarely use the word snub. Because to me, I think people are too liberal with the use of the word snub. They just throw it around, right? They just throw it around. It's like, no, it wasn't a snub, you just don't like it. But I generally reserve the word snub for when I think a potential nominee had a legitimate, honest shot of winning the category.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when nominees aren't mentioned as nominees, but I didn't really think they would have had any shot at a win anyway, then to me that's not a snub. There is one of the biggest snubs I can recall ever that I have not talked to one person yet that isn't shocked about this. They started going down the list of Best Animated Feature. That I went through a bunch of awards prediction sites today just to look back at what they have been saying, and I'd say 90% of them picked this movie to win the Oscar. The Lego Movie did not get nominated for Best Animated Film.
Not awesome.
This is on the same level, if not more egregious, than Ben Affleck last year, who won Best Director at the Directors Guild Awards, at the Critics' Choice Awards, at every award ceremony, and wasn't nominated for Director. To me, there is one big snub this year, and that is the Lego Movie. I cannot wrap my head around it. Do either of you have any sort of sane explanation for how this happened? Because as far as I know, there was a question went online about, was it eligible because there were some live action elements, but I checked, it was eligible, it was listed amongst the eligible films. Why did this not get a nomination?
Nothing is awesome and no one is special. That's what I determined from this. It's very sad.
Emmett is not the special.
I think the Academy needs to have more Legos in their voting
Yes.
body.
They have no sense of humor.
I know, it's not fair.
But that to me, now the other one that some people have been saying, the one that surprised me most, and we knew that the Best Lead Actor category this year was going to be stacked.
Yeah, we did.
Jake Gyllenhaal not nominated.
I'm pissed.
Which I never thought, you and I talked about, I never thought he had a shot at winning anyway, but I thought there was a good shot he'd be nominated.
Yep.
David Oyelowo.
Yes.
I thought there was an outside chance. Like, look, to me, this is Michael Keaton and Eddie Redmayne's race. I always thought it was the two of them.
Yeah.
But I did think if I had to name a third person that had an outside shot, I would have thought it might have been David. I'm not going to go as far as to call either of those a snub, but surprising, especially since I don't think Bradley Cooper, who I'm a big fan of, I don't believe Bradley Cooper deserves to be on this list.
I'll call Gyllenhaal a snub. I'll go ahead and say
you
it's
actually
a snub.
picked him to win.
I didn't pick him to win. I know Keaton's going to win.
At the 100 million views thing, you said you said he should
down,
win.
John.
You said
exactly.
he should win. Okay.
Exactly. I think Gyllenhaal is the best performer of the year. I think it was the most challenging role. He became it from the outside in. It was incredible. But Michael Keaton is a legacy actor. He was amazing in Birdman. But to not even be nominated, that's a snub to me. Why does this Academy not realize the immense talent of Gyllenhaal? Again and again, he's one of the best performers of this generation, hands down. It's baffling to me. That to me is a snub. I agree that it's a really stacked year, but the dark horse was Steve Carell. He's not even been talked about a lot, and we thought it might be supporting. We didn't know. But then, boom, I'm glad Eddie Redmayne's being recognized because he was spectacular, but I'm really upset about Gyllenhaal. We love you. I'm gonna make a little Oscar for you, buddy.
Yeah, I love Gyllenhaal, but for me, the standout snub, for lack of a better word, was David Oyelowo.
Yeah.
Because his performance in Selma was, I think, my
amazing.
favorite of last year. So powerful. Obviously, such a hard role to fill, playing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
And now, without his inclusion, all 20 acting nominees are white, and they're saying that this is the whitest Oscars since 1995.
And we think that it has to do with the fact that Selma, released later, and they didn't give out screeners for the film. I think that really hurt it.
Yeah, that might have hurt it. I mean, the funny thing is, I look at this list, and Bradley Cooper's the only name I could see bumping, which means even on my list, either Gyllenhaal or Oyelowo doesn't get on.
Yeah.
It was a stacked year. For me, I would have put David on. I would have left
Instead
Jake
of
off.
Bradley.
But any surprises with the Best Actress category?
I
There
thought,
was.
like, Jennifer Aniston, I
She was
thought that she would
amazing in
get
Cake.
included for Cake. She was fantastic. And Marion Cotillard, she's amazing in 2 days, 1 night, but she hasn't been talked about at all with any of the American awards, so she was a big surprise.
Yeah, I'm upset about Cake. I mean, that really was the most raw and challenging role. Again, for Jen Aniston, she proved that she is not just that Friends actress we've known her for.
She's got
So
a
I'm
lot more
disappointed.
to do to prove that. Because
Have you seen
she's
Cake?
done. That's the one. She's got 50 other
Have
ones
you
where she
seen Cake?
sucks. And I have seen Cake. She's great in
Okay.
Cake, but you need more than a 50-to-1
You
ratio
do, but
to
it was
prove you're
a
more.
good role.
It was. It was
you
really,
need
really good.
18 other nominations,
Yeah.
like Meryl Streep, who got her 19th nomination for Best
Well, we'll get
Supporting
to that
Actress.
in
They're
a
like,
second.
Meryl has a movie this year, throw her in.
We'll get to that in a second. The one surprise to me, Best Actor in a Supporting Role, which I'm very, very happy about because I've been actually advocating for this. Even though it was a mediocre film, I really loved Robert Duvall's performance in The Judge. I thought he was wonderful.
It was
and I'm so
powerful.
glad. But this is J.K. Simmons' award, right?
It is.
Give it to him.
Ed Norton has an outside shot.
And
Yeah.
I'm happy about that because he was
He
incredible
was
in
really
Birdman.
good. You know
Yeah.
what? You also, I still believe you could have nominated also for Best Supporting Actor from that Zach Galifianakis.
He was good.
I
Oh,
really
yeah.
think
From
that-
Birdman. He
Yeah,
was fantastic, and I like that Robert Duvall is now the oldest nominee ever for Best Supporting Actor.
Right,
at 84.
but truly, but we
He
all
was
agree,
good.
right? This is JK's to lose,
It's
right?
It's JK.
Okay, so we
Not
get
my
to
tempo.
one other interesting about the Best Supporting Actor thing is we have the Hulk versus the Hulk.
Yeah.
We have Ed Norton and Mark Ruffalo going head to head for Best Supporting, and I'm glad Ruffalo actually, in all the talk about Steve Carell, and then all the attention that
Tatum.
Channing Tatum got, it's nice to see that his performance in that got
Yeah, because it's
recognized.
a less showy a role, but he
Right.
does so well.
Best Actress in a Supporting Role.
Yeah, Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. You know, I'm the one guy in all the AMC Movies crew that, even though I didn't love the movie Into the Woods, I thought she was actually spectacular. I thought she
did
deserved
too, and
it,
I
yeah.
liked Into the Woods because
great,
I grew up
but-
on Sondheim, so I thought it was good.
But was there anybody that clearly has
It's
been
Patricia
left off?
Arquette's award too.
Well, oh yeah, Patricia Arquette, I
Probably,
think,
yeah.
will win this award, but I would have liked to see Jessica Chastain from A Most Violent Year in there instead of Meryl Streep for Into the Woods.
it was a smaller role, but I agree. We're Team Chastain all
Yeah.
the time.
Going back to the Best Leading Actress, like to me, it's still Alice, right?
Oh,
I
Julianne
it's
Moore.
Julianne Moore. I for a long time I thought Rosamund Pike it might have been hers.
Yeah.
but the more and more, I think it's a two-horse race. Do you guys see anybody else really competing for it besides those two?
No, because I mean Felicity Jones, I thought she's great in Theory of Everything, but it's not a very strong role. Whereas Julianne Moore, she has to portray a whole life of this disease, and she's heartbreaking. She's so good in everything.
She's so good.
Now, finally, she might get her first Oscar, 5th nomination.
Which is baffling because, you know, it's Meryl Streep, and I don't think Julianne Moore is far behind her, just in terms of literally, you can't typecast this woman. She can do anything. So I think it's her year, and I think the Golden Globes, even though some of us don't hold it in regard as other, I think that it is indicative of hopefully what's to come because, oh, what a gut-wrenching performance.
All right, let's move on. Well, I mean, Best Animated Feature. So this is obviously going to be the hot one that goes around. We've already talked about how we're shocked. And I'm sure in our 1 hour special later today, you're going to hear a lot of us going off a lot on this whole Lego movie thing. The fact of the matter is, though, all the ones that are nominated here are really good animated films. There's not one I'm looking at that goes, oh my goodness, why is that there? I loved Big Hero 6. I'm actually really happy to see the Box Trolls get some recognition. I really enjoyed the Box Trolls.
Lego.
But it was no Lego.
No.
I really enjoyed Box Trolls, but
Yeah.
it was not as good. How to Train Your Dragon 2, some people have been making arguments. Maybe
It's
that
delightful.
one was even better than Lego.
No.
Song of the Sea, I only caught that one not too long ago.
I didn't see
Very
it.
good. The Tale of Princess Kaguya,
I haven't
very
seen
good.
that.
It is
Yeah.
amazing.
But it's the Lego movie. Anyway, we don't want
Lego
to spend too much
movie.
time on this because we have things. There's two very noticeable absences from the Best Director list.
Yeah.
Between Alejandro Richard, Benavides West, Morton, Ava DuVernay from Selma, I thought deserved to be nominated for this.
Definitely.
I don't think I would have put Christopher Nolan necessarily on my list. But we had a discussion on the show yesterday about how I called Interception. I called Interstellar.
That's a
cross
movie
between
I wanna
Interstellar and
see.
Inception. I called Interstellar, and I believe it was the most ambitious film of the
No
year.
question.
Definitely.
And I believe it's one of those films that, in the hands of almost any other director, it just would have been a mess and a horrible film. But he made it a good film. And very ambitious. For that alone, I thought maybe there's a chance he might get into the. But I got no complaints that he's not on the
The
list.
Oscars don't like Nolan. Why would they ever do that?
And I also have no complaints about any of the. Can any of us make an argument why any of these five shouldn't be there?
I would switch out Morton Tilden.
I knew that was the one you were going to
for
go
Ava
for.
Me
DuVernay,
too.
just because The Imitation Game, solid film, inspiring story, Benedict Cumberbatch was brilliant, but it feels at times like a BBC TV movie. So it doesn't feel as cinematic as something like Selma, which was shot so beautifully and has haunting images and a really inspiring
And you
story.
would have replaced him with
Ava.
Yeah,
me too.
no question. And I'm so happy that Wes Anderson is finally being recognized
Yeah.
because this is his first nomination as director, which is baffling to me. But yeah, Ava, that's the most inspiring, powerful movie I've seen all year, Selma, and it's just like, this is a snub to me. That really is. 2 snubs so far.
Okay, I don't think she was. I never thought she was one of the top 1 or 2 to win.
But
so that's why I don't
nomination, yeah.
necessarily
Just recognize
consider it a
it.
snub. I
Yeah.
don't consider it a snub. But best visual effects.
X-Men!
X-Men Days of Future Past, Interstellar, Guardians of the Galaxy, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I don't know how. This isn't my favorite movie of this bunch, but I don't know how you don't give this to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I mean,
Caesar.
it was visually impeccable.
Yeah.
Completely impeccable.
They pushed the boundaries of
Yeah.
what you can do with performance capture.
Yeah, they did.
Unbelievable. So I would give it to that one.
They're all very worthy, though. That's
And
a
then
really strong category.
Take Andy Serkis up to the podium with you.
Yeah.
You win as an 8.
And but once again, I thought you could have made an argument there should be room for Andy Serkis to be nominated for an acting award.
was pushing
Didn't
for it.
happen,
Not in
but
this year.
not this year. No, not this year. All right, folks, don't forget, once again, just to remind you, come back to AMC Movie News YouTube channel later tonight. We're going to have Schnepp will be joining us, Christian. We're going to be here. Dennis is going to be with us. And we're just going to go for a full hour or more, just talking about all the categories. Well, most of the categories. We probably won't talk about Best Live Action Short, but we will talk about almost all the categories in some depth for an hour, hour and a half. So make sure you come back and join us then. We're running short on time, so we're going to start flying through these next few topics. So Ashley, what do we got?
Remember when Jonah Hill was talking to Sony about possibly crossing over the 21 Jump Street franchise with the Men in Black franchise? Well, it looks like people are still talking about it. While on the red carpet at the Golden Globes, 21 Jump Street directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller said the following: "It's still a crazy idea, and we only do things that seem like they're going to be terrible. We're really focusing on what a great story for Schmidt and Janko and how to tell the next chapter in their lives, and perhaps use creatures creatures from another world at the same time. We're developing a lot of things, and they may or may not all happen, but that's how the business works. Amy Rose, do you think this is actually possible?
I don't know. Lord and Miller are fantastic. In anyone else's hands, I wouldn't want to see this, but I have so much faith in them. So if they really are as involved as this sounds like, then sure. But the concept, I'm not that interested in it, even though 21 Jump Street was great, the sequel was great, the Lego movie's the best ever. So I have faith in this team, but just, don't cross it with this property, in my opinion. Do something else.
Alicia?
It's such a weird concept. I kind of like it just for the weirdness, but I think
weird.
I'd like to see a short film because I remember that
Sounds like a
scene.
Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah, like a skit, exactly, because you remember the scene in the credits when they have them fighting aliens, and you think that's a really funny concept, but to have a full-length movie, I'm not so sure, although Phil Lord and Chris Miller, as you said, they could do anything and make it hilarious and awesome.
Yeah, no, this is a stupid idea. Even with the only names you could put to this that would make me think you have a modicum chance would be Lord and Miller, but even then, I still think this. I thought it was a bad idea when I first heard it. I think it's a bad idea now. All right, folks, we reached that part of the show for buy and sell. In front of her, Ashley's got a few other items in world movie news. She's going to run them down, and those of us at the table are just going to say whether we buy it or sell it. So, Ashley, what do we got?
According to reports, Academy Award-nominated actor Michael Keaton is in talks to star in the upcoming McDonald's origin movie, The Founder. Described as a cross between The Social Network and There Will Be Blood, The Founder tells the story of how a salesman named Ray Kroc teamed with two brothers, Richard and Morris Mac McDonald, to launch what would soon become an international fast food chain that now serves 68 million customers every day. Alicia, would you buy or sell Michael Keaton in The Founder?
I buy it. I love that Michael Keaton is having a resurgence in his career with Birdman, and he got the Academy Award nomination, as we said, and with Skull Island coming soon. And I just love the comparison between Social Network and There Will Be Blood, because it sounds like it's going to be dark and interesting, and written by John Lee Hancock, who also wrote The Blind Side. So I'm buying this.
Yeah, I'm buying this too wholeheartedly. I was really excited about the sounds of the film right off the bat. Adding an Academy Award level talent like Michael Keaton, for me, it's all buy.
Yeah, all buy across the board. Talent, intrigue. I love also that he's making a comeback. Even in Need for Speed, which people didn't love that movie, he was great in. So it's the year of the Keaton.
RoboCop.
RoboCop.
All right, what's next?
Variety is reporting that The Office star John Krasinski has signed on to lead the upcoming Michael Bay project 13 Hours. 13 Hours presents for the first time ever the true account of the events of September 11, 2012, when terrorists attacked the U.S. State Department Special Mission Compound and a nearby CIA station called the Annex in Benghazi, Libya. A team of 6 American security operators fought to repel the attackers and protect the Americans stationed there. John, buy or sell Krasinski joining 13 Hours?
I'll buy the Krasinski part of this because I've been really itching for him to get more shots, and so people can start to forget that he was just Jim on The Office. I sell the project, though, because I don't think this type of topic suits well. The war thing fits in Michael Bay's wheelhouse. Serious, heavy topic stuff doesn't, so I'm glad for Krasinski, though.
Yeah, same sentiments. I just don't know why he hasn't exploded as a bigger star, because everything, and even Leatherheads, and it's complicated, and every time he's on screen, he just has this dynamic presence. So I'm disappointed that he hasn't pulled on. So hopefully a leading role like this. But yeah, I agree. It sounds a little dark.
Yeah, I agree. Buy Krasinski, sell Michael Bay.
Sell Michael Bay usually.
Krasinski, he showed promise in Promised Lands and Away We Go, smaller films. Now this will be his first studio production. Mm-hmm. Apparently Bay was blown away by his audition, so I want to see him in a studio role.
Did he wear tight denim shorts? Is that why? That seems
Bent over slow motion?
I like blown away. That's perfect for Bay too.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
All right, what's next?
Yesterday, we reported about the upcoming film The Big Short, which will star Brad Pitt, Christian Bale, and Ryan Gosling, while you can now add another major name. According to reports, Academy Award nominee Steve Carell is also joining the movie, which focuses on the economic collapse in 2008. Amy Rose, buy or sell the addition of Steve Carell to The Big Short?
this cast is ridiculous.
Stupid.
Yeah.
It's like
Stupid.
ridiculous. And I love the premise. And I'm in. I'm so in.
And you gotta buy this. I was already considering calling this, as far as male cast goes, the
best.
most stacked cast maybe we've ever seen,
Yeah.
with Pitt, Christian
Gosling.
Bale, and Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
And now you're adding
Carell,
Steve Carell,
who's now
next?
nominated.
Like,
Yeah.
who are you gonna put in here next? Like,
Some strong female leads.
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Anyway.
And a script written by and directed by Adam McKay and based on a book with Michael Lewis, who also wrote Moneyball. I think this is a buy all around. Can we say that if this doesn't get nominated for an Oscar, it'll be a snub?
I mean, I think it might be a little too early to call that.
It's got all the elements you need. True story.
Yeah, although I did
Best ensemble ever.
remember that Daniel Day-Lewis is joining next.
Oh
no,
my
I did
God.
not. I did
And
not hear
Meryl
that rumor.
Streep.
And
That
then
would
Meryl
be
Streep will be joining
amazing.
too. All right, folks, we reached that part of the show for Mailbag. If you've got a topic or a question you'd like us to address on the show, you can email us anytime at amcmovietalk@gmail.com. We got a couple questions from the mailbag here. So, Ashley, what do we got?
James Walsh writes, hello AMC, and thank you for taking my question. With roles in Furious 7 and The Hateful Eight, do you think this is the year that Kurt Russell could make a comeback?
Comeback? No, for a couple of reasons. One, Kurt Russell's never really gone anywhere. I mean, Kurt Russell still kind of pops up here and there, and it's always cool and fun to see him. Plus, if you want to talk like comeback, like a real big resurgence, I think it's 64, 65, which is where he's at right now. I think the opportunities are going to be a little bit more limited for him, but there's still the odd great role for him, absolutely, I think. But I think this is just reinforce the fact that he is still, at his age, still going, and he is still relevant. That's my thing. I think these films really set up that ensures that Russell will remain relevant because he's Kurt frickin' Russell. That's why. Anyway, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't ever think he's been, I mean, he had his day, but he was never at the certain levels of a lot of the actors in his class. But I like him, and even though that Tarantino segment of the Robert Rodriguez Planet Terror wasn't my favorite, he was still really good in that role, so I'm happy to see him re-teaming with Tarantino. The Hateful Eight, everything about it, I'm so excited about it. So yeah, I'm happy to see he's getting some good roles again.
Yeah, Stuntman Mike.
Yeah,
that's
right.
He was really good in
Getting that
Tarantino
lap
as well.
dance.
Can't wait to see him back in Hateful Eight. And I think this will just remind people about him. Remind everyone how good he is.
All right, what's next?
Trent P. writes, greetings AMC crew, looking over phase 1 and 2, it seems like Thor's movies have been the least impactful and most underwhelming. I haven't looked up the numbers, but it wouldn't shock me to find out Thor 1 and 2 didn't perform as well as other MCU movies at the box office. How much pressure does the success of Iron Man 3, Cap 2, and GOTG put on Thor Ragnarok to be better than its predecessors? Is the Thor franchise the weak link in the MCU?
No, absolutely not. It's not. I think the original Thor film still stands as my second favorite. It was my number one favorite standalone Avengers or Marvel Cinematic Universe film. That includes Iron Man and all the rest, until Captain America: The Winter Soldier came along, and that kind of usurped it for me. And I liked the second Thor film. I thought it was a step down from the original, but I still enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. So is it the weak link? No. But I think the success of all the Marvel properties, including Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 3, you're right, the financial success puts pressure on all the other projects. But what puts more pressure on all those projects is the success of Guardians of the Galaxy. An unknown property, out of left field, that was a big risk, and for a long time looked like it was going to be the number one box office film in the US for the year, which has been usurped by Hunger Games, but we all expected that. So no, I do not believe that Thor is the weak link. And Marvel doesn't think so either, because they have plans for Thor. They're moving forward with a third one, and Thor's going to remain a relevant character in this MCU for a long time. What do you guys think?
Let's back up. Is there a weak link of the MCU? Because it doesn't really feel like world domination is weak.
Yeah.
No, I think that Thor is fantastic. By monetary standards, it still made a lot of money. I loved Thor 2. I thought it was really good. It really did elevate next. It's hard for a sequel to excel past the original because just the introduction of the characters in the standalone is exciting. But yeah, I loved it, so I don't think so.
Yeah.
Love you, Hemsworth.
Yeah, love you, Hemsworth. I did enjoy the first one better than the second because I love seeing Thor in everyday world. That to me is really
was
funny
cool.
when he has the mug and again another.
Another!
But I don't think it's the weak link. It is not as financially successful as your Iron Man, but with the Avengers, it works so well because you have the mix of all the different characters together. So he is an important part. He looks great with long flowing locks and a hammer.
Yeah. Well, we don't have time today to go into some live Twitter questions today. And the reason we started shooting the show at 10 a.m. instead of a regular 11 a.m. and the reason I'm wearing this shirt. Actually, there's a new documentary coming out about Manny Pacquiao, of course, probably pound for pound best boxer in the world, called Manny, being narrated by Liam Neeson. And we are actually, Amy Rose and I are heading over to his house right now. That's why we had to move our timetable. And this shirt is actually called a barong. Now, as you know, Anne, my wife, is Filipino. This is a traditional formal wear shirt in the Filipino culture. So I had one because I've gone to a couple Filipino weddings since getting married. And I thought I would put on my barong today. And I'm really super stoked because even though I'm not a huge boxing fan, I'm a big Manny Pacquiao fan. I watch all of his fights, so I'm really excited about it. So that's what we're doing today.
So peace out.
I want to thank, first of all, the people sitting at the table with me, of course, our very own editor of Movie News, senior editor of Movie News over here, Miss Amy Rose Eisenbach. Amy Rose, where can people find you online?
At Amy Rosie on Twitter and Instagram, and the new AMCI Indie Spotlight is up. Come chat indies with us. Thanks, guys.
Over there, Miss Alicia Malone. Alicia, where can people find you?
Yeah, on AMCI Indie Spotlight and also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Alicia Malone.
And our lovely host today, Miss Ashley Mova. Ashley, where can people find you?
Twitter, Instagram at Ashley Mova. Happy Thursday, guys.
Don't forget, guys, lots of great films playing in AMC theaters right now. Head on over to www.amctheaters.com for your theater, showtime, movie ticket information. Make sure you click the thumbs up button. Share this video all over the place. If you want an audio-only version of this episode, look in the description of this video and you'll find our podcast feed. Don't forget, come back and join us later today for our 1-hour special, all covering, analyzing, breaking down, ranting, complaining, praising the Oscar nominations. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. My name's John Campia for AMC Movie News. And until next time, bye-bye.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC Movie Talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.